This video is segmented into 3 sections. One for the first phase of Hellux, one for the second, and one for some questions at the end. There are 3 different attacks that Hellux can use in phase 1. I call them the breath, the suck, and the slam. Hellux can technically use the breath and the slam at the same time, but we only care about the slam part of it. After using any attack, Hellux will wait a few seconds before he attacks again. This delay is between 2 to 3 seconds long for the suck and the breath, and about 5 to 6 seconds long if he uses a slam. In practice, this means you can get between 2 and 3 cleaves in after a suck or a breath, and about 4 to 5 cleaves in after a slam. The main way you want to play phase 1 is just by staying behind Hellux because he won't attack too far behind him. After Hellux attacks, count how many attacks you're going to do based off of the attack that Hellux does. If he's slammed, attack 4 to 5 times. If he's used a breath or a suck, attack 2 to 3 times, and then get ready to move to the other side behind him when he turns around. Keep in mind that if you stand too close to the center, a suck and a breath can still hit you even if you are actually behind him. The only dangerous aspect of phase 1 is the suck, which if you get hit with will kill you after seducing you, as well as healing Hellux. So if you notice that Hellux is pulling back for a suck and you think it might hit you, it's always the better play to just hold Aether Guard as you flash jump past him just in case. The slam will also one-shot you, but it's super telegraphed, so in general, you shouldn't really be getting hit by it. There's only 2 main attacks that you'll need to worry about in phase 2. The bomb, which will reverse your controls and after a bit will explode, dealing damage for 99% of your health. Getting hit by this is basically a guaranteed death, so you'll want to avoid it. Luckily, the bomb only hits you if you're somewhere in this area, so if you stay outside of this range, you won't get tagged by it. The other attack is the slam. Hellux can't actually slam you if you're standing at the very edges of the phase 2 platforms, so your goal for the easiest phase 2 is just to stand at the edges of these plats. This makes it so the main issue in phase 2 is just clearing the rocks at the bottom. There's a few ways to deal with this. One is if you messed up your position on the corners and Hellux actually slams at you, you can dodge a slam by just feather floating backwards and jump down to clear the rocks, positioning yourself on the other side of the opposite platform. If you position yourself properly and you're not actually in the aggro range for Hellux, he won't attack at all. Once you get back in range, he'll attack again, so we want to move in a way that will make him attack you with something that's easy to dodge. Luckily, just jumping down will make him slam the platform above you and miss, letting you just flash jump across the ground and clear the rocks. The last way to clear rocks is to just pay attention to where your swords are as you attack. If one of your swords swings a little close to a rock, you can just cast Aether Bloom to kill it, but you can't only rely on this method since it's a little inconsistent with how swords move, and Bloom isn't off cooldown often enough to be the only method that you clear the rocks with. How do I get Resonance Rush stacks? Resonance Rush can be easily stacked in phase 1 whenever Hellux slams, just impale Resonance upwards. You can also use it to move behind him, but it's a little inconsistent since there's a little bit of a delay. I couldn't really find a way to easily and safely stack Resonance Rush during phase 2, but if you know of anything, just let me know. In phase 3, you can easily stack Resonance Rush whenever you move back up towards the gem after clearing the rocks. What range or stat do I need? I don't know, dude, it really depends on your IAD since Hellux has 250% PDR, your nodes matter, your legion matters, your links matter, etc. What I can tell you is that doing 40 to 50 mil lines with cleave and while not using 5th job skills, Hellux is about a 10-minute solo with half duration left on the gem, so I'd imagine if you're hitting 15 mil lines with cleave and actually using your 5th job skills, you could probably clear, but I wouldn't recommend doing a 30-minute boss fight every day for your own sanity. When do I use buffs? This is mostly for phase 1, but it's safest to use your buffs after Hellux slams. If you use it after a suck or a breath, you can only really cast one buff safely. In phase 2, just buff yourself after you position yourself on the corner and he hasn't actually tried slamming you for about 10 seconds. I keep missing the safe spots in phase 2. The easiest way that I found to get onto the safe spots guaranteed is just to use Impale and Resonance Rush. This combo will lock you onto a platform's edge, so if you overshoot the platform by a bit on the ground, then just Impale and Resonance Rush upwards, you'll lock onto the corner of the platform.